Welcome to the FAQ podcast, frequently asked questions with Fuzzy and Quincy. Y'all not subscribed yet? Why? Hit the button. Hit the button. Like subscribe. Like we giving y'all.
Don't say
shit,
hit. Say click.
This shit free. Like I'm just saying.
What does
like,
Generation Z say? Click or tap?
Whatever y'all say. Like it's free though. Like,
y'all youngins.
Yeah. Like just hit the button. If you audio, if you visual, hit the button. Fuzz. Today I'm really. You said that this
West
guy
Coast.
was coming
West Coast.
through.
Let's get no. West Coast.
But it's even more than West Coast.
Carson.
Oh,
Let's be clear.
C. Arson.
Yeah. You can.
Okay.
I mean, some people may get offended by that, but you can
my
say
bad.
Carson, C. Arson.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But definitely, it's West Coast.
Who put
Like anytime he get his Philly shit off, I gotta get my West Coast shit off.
Who put Carson on the map? Who put Carson on? Ray J, right?
I mean, it's people. I mean, it goes back before that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Brandy, yeah, of course. You can say that.
Yeah.
Absol.
Shout out. Yeah, no. He always say Del Amo, right?
Yeah,
Del
Amo's a
I
street.
know
Del
what's
Amo's
going on.
It's a hood.
He's
it's a
like
thing.
Del Amo, and I'm like, I don't know. So let me tell you real quick before we get back into the intro. Sometimes I don't know when to say what to say.
Yo, okay.
Yeah,
Punch.
say it.
You
Tell him.
He be out of bounds.
Yeah, I be out of bounds.
He take a collective all street gang lingo from the West Coast.
Yeah.
Anytime I see some stuff going on the internet, he like, oh, send it to me. I like, So he'll be around my folks and start naming out gang sets and
I drank that one time, but here's the thing: you got to know this.
Capanella Park. I'm like, oh, bro, it's some. Yo, he be saying that.
So here's the thing: in Philly, like I told you about my boy Al, we love West Coast culture. We love the music.
It don't be
We love-
disrespectful, but
No, it's
funny.
not disrespectful, but we joke or just we say stuff like I'm not gonna say what we say, but we say stuff that y'all may say on specific sets, and it's spilled out. I'm like, oh, I'm not in Philly right now, and I said something.
He said something to somebody that had
beef with that crew. Yeah.
With that crew, I'm like,
Sorry.
bro.
All right, listen.
Yikes.
The most important thing about our next guest is the longest intro we've ever had.
This is great.
He's an artist. He's a facilitator. He's a visionary. He's one of these people that he's put his ego to the side to allow for us to get some of the greatest, music
Hands-on.
of this generation.
Hands-on.
And that's a really important thing. Like, I mean, we got it's just not just rappers. It's R&B. But he's a down to earth kind of guy.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't even know how we got connected. I think we got connected online. We got connected on Instagram.
Is that right?
And he came to Philly, and I hit him, and he wanted some cheesesteaks. I bought, you know what I mean? Got some cheesesteaks.
Yeah, you did your
We
Philly.
kicked it.
You
He
did
was
your
like,
Philly
yo, you
joint.
want to stay for the show? I was like, I'm cool. Just wanted to, hey, bro, I respect y'all. Like what you doing.
Good peoples.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have Punch. Super executive from TDE Records, Top Dog Entertainment.
We got to put the key word on executive.
Executive. Yeah.
Executive.
Executive.
Very hands-on executive.
Yeah, could we get up for Punch?
Yo, let's give him some.
Come on, could we get up for Punch?
Man, that's a great intro.
Yeah.
Bro.
No,
I
I'm just
appreciate it.
We're happy to have you, man.
I was looking around like, who they talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, man,
dog.
we got
the bull.
Listen, I'm glad you picked up when I called because I'm like, me and Terrence was having some good conversations. He's like, you got to interview Punch. I said, he's on my list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if Punch be talking or should we? He's like, yeah, he ready to talk. I was like, all right, bet. So I would be respectful because I know how you and Top, you know what I'm saying? I be assuming how Top be moving. That's how I assume that you be moving.
Right.
Because you and Top are two different people, but Top, y'all got the same, like, demeanor. Top don't be talking.
It's definitely the same bloodline. I'm a little more vocal, though.
You are a little bit more vocal.
Yeah.
Top is more, he loves the mysterious side. One time I caught Top FaceTiming one of the artists, and in the comment, I said, hey, Top, they can see your face. He went, so no, I appreciate. First of all, thank you for making time for FAQ, and I know how important this conversation is about to be because I feel like you are very influential on the record label side, executive side, of you as an artist. I just want people to get a deep dive of who you are and what you've been doing and what you're about to do, or you know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah.
You are quiet, but you are a gentle giant in this business, bro. You feel me? So I want to show you some love and just like I'm really appreciative that you're here. This is a big deal for me. So
yeah, no, it's an honor. It really is, man. Where do we start, Fuzz, with Punch, man? It's so much to talk about. Like the beginning. Like, how do you go from which is so important. A lot of people can't let go of their ego. How do you say, I'm an artist, right? But I'm gonna put this on hold a little bit to help these other artists out and help them thrive. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, I mean, first, before we get started, though, I'm a fan of both of you guys,
Oh, man,
individually
thank you,
and what y'all doing collectively. It's dope. You know what I mean? Like we said earlier, you pulled up on me in Philly with cheesesteaks and hung out, did the whole thing. Then, of course, growing up on you on radio first. That was my first introduction.
Respect, man.
So to be here, it's like really an honor. It's dope.
Listen, I'm just glad that we got another West Coast in here. Because anytime it's some Philly shit, it goes ham. Anyway.
But
sure.
but about that, like, how do you're an artist first, but how do you say,
Let me step back.
Yeah, I'm going to step back and I'm gonna do this.
Because the goal is to my goal is always to teach.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So no matter what form that comes in, like if I learn something, I immediately want to share it with somebody else. So the role I took helped better the company, TDE. You know what I mean? Like I didn't need to be an artist at that point. So I say, okay, let's get everybody else off, and then later it'll be easier. Yeah. You know what I mean? Once we establish what's going on and the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, the run. I mean, you guys have a run, then you got some new stuff going on, and I want to talk about it because it was like, and this is almost like you're writing a paper. This is our thesis statement, and then we'll go back and break down everything. When I heard the new project, what's the new project?
Room Full of Mirrors. It's a collective.
And I'm like, they're spitting like.
He called me when it came out, and I'm like, I didn't know.
I'm so mad. It was this one lyric that I gotta find it. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I wanted to look them up, and it was nothing. I couldn't find.
Just titles.
I'm like, who are these artists?
Yeah.
Can you explain just a little bit of that? Like,
talk about the concept.
Yeah, the concept behind it.
The whole concept was to bring together all these MCs and make actual songs. You know what I mean? It's easy to bring rappers in and just let them rap, but to make actual records was the goal for me. Yeah. So these are all people that I knew individually. And towards the end of me working on my album, they would just come by and hang out, just listen to the record, and we'd chill, talk. So at one point, I'm like, yo, let's just make a song and see what happens. Yeah. So that came out crazy, and then we just kept going to where we did a whole EP, and we did a short film, and then we have an album coming. You know what I mean? Just a lot of stuff in the works.
Man. So who's all a part of Room Full of Mirrors?
So we have Early Riser. We have Lyric Michelle. We have Daylight. We have Ichiban Don.
Producer /
Yeah. He was producing with us for a long time at TDE. Yeah. He had records with J. Cole, Dot,
good dude.
A bunch of stuff. Where I'll stop at. We got Billy Marie. She's from Australia, young singer. Hari, who's the producer, he produced 90% of the music. Okay. Jarris Law. And myself.
Wow.
That's a collective right there of MCs.
Are all the MCs, everyone you name, are they signed to TDE? Is this like the new generation or next generation of TDE?
We're working it out. As of now, everybody is independent.
Got it.
But you guys just want to support a group of MCs and make a body of work.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
Because when I heard that, I was like, okay, no, they are killing it. I'm like, this is the question I wanted to know. I'm like, is this the new rollout of like, all right, out of this we'll see some solo projects?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the whole thing, was to really start a platform, a base. And we started with the group project, the collective project. So now everybody is going to shoot individual, because everybody was individual artists anyway. Yeah. So it wasn't like they started as this group. You know what I mean? That's why I refer to it a lot as a collective. Like I make the distinction between a group and a collective.
Got it. Let's go back. TDE. How do you get connected? I know 2011? That's when Kendrick, did K-Dot come out? 2011? 2012? You can't remember.
This thing started in 04.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. What I mean by that is Kendrick's breakout album happened I know he was with, overly dedicated. We know all of that.
Yeah.
J-Rock, everything. But it seemed as if with that Kendrick album, his first Good Kid, Mad City, it was like, okay.
That's when the gasoline was on
the
it.
gasoline.
Right.
So
that was end of 2012.
2012. Okay, so how far you guys pick these 3 or 4 MCs and say, okay, we're gonna work with y'all, we're gonna develop you guys, and then
Because J-Rock was first.
J-Rock,
J-Rock was first. It's still like the staple of the TDE. Am I right?
That Redemption album.
Yeah, it's the one, right?
Hey, you know what's funny? I was with Terrace. I was hanging out with Terrace Martin a lot when, remember, he had a production deal at Warner Brothers through Tick, right? And I remember I used to see you, Top, and everybody with J-Rock at Warner Brothers in Burbank. And I remember when they dropped J-Rock, I'm like, y'all were just getting a single warmed up with Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, it wasn't a drop though. We actually released.
Released. All right, but I'm like, but they dropped the ball though. That's what I'm saying.
They definitely
dropped the ball because I'm like, why would they not? It was weird because I was on the radio side. And I'm like, this record's working, y'all. And I'm like, y'all not doing something.
You know what it was?
And I remember I said something. They looked at me like,
yeah,
they was afraid to tell me. I'm like, okay,
Nah, what it was exactly was it was a regime change.
Yes, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So
because new heads came in.
Right, and they came in when we was like a week away from impacting.
Damn.
Because the record was going.
And when they came, they just stopped everything.
How important is that for success for an artist? I think a lot of people don't know that you can't just rap, you can't just have great producers. It's like that's one process, and then it gets to a certain point, and then if something doesn't happen, what's the overall ingredient you would say to an overall success of a project, like from start to finish?
See, with that, we talking about a different time frame too.
Yeah.
So that was like 08 maybe.
Yeah.
So everything was really dependent on radio at that time. Now
Because there was no streaming services or anything like that.
So now it's wide open.
Yeah. Well, back then I would say.
Yeah, but that was the next step. You know what I mean? Because you have certain really gatekeepers in place that you had to go through.
Had to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was the one that we was missing at that time.
Yeah.
And when they shut that down, like that really set us back, but it put us on a track to do what we did.
So it was like a blessing and a curse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
More of a blessing.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
When you really go back and think about it, because it taught us so much. It taught us not to rely on record companies or radio or anything else. It taught us to go directly to the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And once you do that, everything else will catch on.
Yeah.
You talk when you say direct to the people, because it's like you had a taste of the major label thing. Then you're like, let's just do it independently.
Yeah, because we just started putting out songs on the blogs and your MySpace and anything that was going on at that time.
That Piff and all that.
Where people were, that's what we was putting music out at.
Got it. So how did this start? Was it, you said 04. How do you get connected? What's just lay it out for us for people who don't know. I've been a fan. I know you a little bit more in depth with it, but for us who don't know, how did this whole thing start?
It started with Top Dawg. He wanted to start a record company, and he built a studio onto his house.
In Carson, right?
In Carson.
Yeah.
This was in like 97.
Wow.
Okay.
When he first built the studio.
Okay.
But he was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like he was moving around a little bit.
Yeah.
Been in some corners, as we say.
Doing community service.
Right.
Yeah. He was.
So I'm like in the 10th grade maybe at the time.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Bellflower.
Okay, Bellflower. All right.
Yeah. So, I always talk to him the whole time because that's my blood relative.
Got it.
So
Catch how you said blood relative.
Yeah, I saw. I did. I'm not
that.
picking it up. It was not for me to.
Distinction,
Yeah. It was not for me to pick
I just
up.
broke it down to another day.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, but no, he he would always talk to me about what he doing. So, he started getting real serious with it around 04 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to do a record company on my own. I realized real quick you needed a whole lot of bread.
Man.
Get going.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, just come over with me and we'll do this whole thing.
And y'all always got along as relatives though, right?
Yeah,
Of
for
course.
Absolutely.
So you trusted him. You're like, oh, that's family. So let me just roll with that.
Of course.
So were you the first artist on TDE?
No, I didn't come in as an artist.
Okay.
I came in as a business person. You know what I mean? Because he respected my mind and the way I would talk to him and speak, and just all the information that I had on the music business so far.
Really?
Just stuff that I had picked up on my own. You know what I mean? So that's why he was like, just come over with me. So then all the artists started to form around the same time.
Let me answer this. I'm sorry, Terrence Martin's FaceTiming us.
Oh,
I hit
okay.
him. Yo, man, just letting you know you on the FAQ podcast.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, Terrence, man. We come on, we taping, brother.
Hey, Philly got the dry ass tasty cakes, man.
Listen, we got the best tasty cakes.
and unhealthy Ishkabibbles and
Yes, we do.
shit.
But you listen, you changing since that latest Tonight Show appearance, brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
hey, dog, hey, look,
switched up.
hey, man, what y'all asking punch, man?
Hey, we just getting started, man. We right there at the beginning up.
Hey, ask that motherfucker about his dance career, cuz. Ask him about his dance career behind Cisco.
Got it. Own it. Hey, we own it.
He'll do a backflip right now.
Hey, T, we'll hit you back, bro. Love.
All right.
Love
Yeah,
Terrence,
I love
word.
that, brother, man.
So you come in as an executive from the gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So all right. So who's the first?
So both of them are learning on the fly though.
Absolutely.
So
Man.
so Top got the loot, you got the brain power to make it work, and you're like playing executive A&R.
Nah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Hey, even in the early days, Top was actually engineering.
What?
Oh, he was sitting at the board, like
At his
recording
house.
people at his house.
So he would
figure it
record
out.
people.
Yeah,
Damn,
so
I didn't know that.
I learned from him.
So y'all both learned. Y'all didn't have like. So y'all at one point y'all had nobody other than y'all two. Nobody from the industry coming in.
Nah, heck no, not at all.
Y'all just learning.
Still haven't.
Yeah,
Till this
y'all
day.
are self-contained. Goddamn right.
Yeah, but no. So I was learning to engineer from him. He have a bunch of artists just coming through from around the neighborhood. We were just trying to figure it out. So eventually, J-Rock came
First.
Okay. Kendrick came next. Then Ab Soul.
From Carson.
And then Schoolboy Q.
Then Ali and Schoolboy. That's how. Am I right that they played football together?
Right.
Ali's he was a DJ for
Yeah.
TDE for most of the part, but then he started mixing the records.
Yeah, mixed by Ali.
Now he actually came in mixing.
Really came in mixing?
Yeah, he was bugging me on MySpace for like 6 months.
Like, hey, let me get in.
Yeah, before I finally told him like, all right, pull up. It was the day we was shooting J-Rock video, Lift Me Up.
Okay.
Projects.
Uh-huh.
So he just happened to hit me when I was on my way out. I'm like, all right, pull up. We in the projects. I didn't think he was gonna come.
And he came.
So he pulled up. He brought Tiger with him.
Oh shit. So Tiger could have been on TDE at one point?
Man, everybody could have been on.
Yeah,
that
I
one
bet. Yes, sir.
Man.
Nah, so Ali pulled up, and then I would give Ali sessions that we're not doing nothing with, just to mess around with and try to mix. So I guided him and got him kind of started in where he's going.
And he just blew that thing. He just got
took
a whole
it far, right?
He got a whole compound now.
Nah, for sure.
Did he take the old Death Row?
Yeah.
The Can-Am Studios, yeah.
Yeah,
It's very nice what he did.
See,
over
I'm a student, Buzz. Like, you know what I mean?
See you?
Yeah, I'm a student. So what was the first, I guess, success of TDE? Like, yo, y'all looking around, y'all like,
there.
all
No
right,
problem, yeah.
it's working.
Yeah, I mean, back then it was J-Rock getting signed
That's a big deal.
because we thought that was the end all be all.
And who signed y'all? Who signed? Was it
That
Tick?
was Naeem.
Naeem Ali.
Yeah.
Naeem Ali, yes, sir.
At what label?
At
Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Got
like
it.
that was the thing, like that was the goal. But once we got signed, it was like, all right, what now? Like that's when the work actually starts.
Yes.
But we didn't know that at that point.
You thought it was a victory. Like, all right, they gonna
Yeah.
They'll finish it.
We'll give them a record, and they just.
It's like all we gotta do is record the
And
songs.
you got to hold their hand now.
Right,
Right.
so to speak.
Yeah. All right. So some of these mixtapes I've heard from you guys, they sounded like albums, right? Like they sounded like fully produced projects. Like what was the mindset going into, joints like Overly Dedicated and, some of the earlier, TDEs?
We never called them mixtapes.
Got
We
it.
was making albums.
Yeah.
like to us, mixtapes was when you was rapping over somebody else's beats, just doing freestyles and putting them all together. Like we was making records and albums.
Yeah.
From jump. Like the first thing we actually sold was not Section 80, Overly Dedicated.
Right.
That was Gina, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I remember y'all handing me that CD at one of the Dub car shows when K-Dot was performing.
Yeah.
And I remember Dave Free came up to me, and my relationship with Dave Free or the Frileys, or we went to church together in Inglewood.
Yeah. Right.
Right. So I'm like, Dave was like, Fuzzy, man, I'm on like J-Rock, K-Dot. Like he was pushing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man. And he gave me the CD. I said, they own something. But I was super happy because I'm like, when he said Kendrick from Compton, I knew about, J-Rock, that's Watts, and TDE movement to Carts. I'm like, oh, that's my backyard. Like, super excited, man. And I'm always like, they own something, but I'm like, but I can tell y'all was still, pushing y'all narrative. And I love that y'all. Yeah. I love seeing TDE move as a unit.
Yes, sir.
It was never segregated like it. When they all moved together, I'm like, oh, they own something.
Yeah.
They own something.
Yeah, but Punch, right? This is happening. You putting stuff out. How are you picking your spots for your own individual work? You know what I mean? The stuff that you want to put out as an artist.
With me, it started like just doing verses. Like they'd be in there working on some stuff, and I hear it like, yo, this is crazy. Like hop on it, do a verse, knock it out, record it myself,
right.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So it just started as that, just sprinkling verses here and there. But I didn't really get a chance to work on my solo project until after SZA did her first tour.
And is it just be like, it's time, or I just want to do this? Let me just get this off.
It was downtime. You know what I mean? When she had came off tour, she had like a few weeks to kind of relax for a second.
Because you was super hands-on with that project, and we'll get to
100%.
that. We'll get to that, yeah. Because I want to talk about that process.
No, for sure. But yeah, it wasn't until that time when I had the chance to really sit back and go full-fledged on the artistry.
Yeah.
And did that help you, like, when you started, like, you rapping or you recording, you're like, did that help you with tools of, like, oh, I can give this gem to so-and-so? Like, were you looking at, like, what you're doing for yourself, but also I can help other artists also on the TD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what made my relationship with the artist a little bit different, because I actually understand everything from top to bottom. Like, it's certain execs that can't talk to an artist about a lyric or how you supposed to say this line or a reference or whatever. Like, I can have those conversations fully.
Yeah.
From artist to artist and executive to artist, like, you know what to say at the right time then, right?
Right. Exactly.
And when you're saying it, they trust your opinion.
Right.
Like, do you ever talk to DOC about, like, what he did with Snoop Dogg and Doggy Style and them?
Nah, and that's on my bucket list too.
I got to connect you with DOC, bro.
Definitely.
Because you remind me of how important his voice was.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't have a voice, he still had a voice for
sure.
Dog. And Dog tells some of the best stories about DOC, like, nah, say like this. And like,
Yeah.
so you do a lot. I seen you do it with Nick Grant.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I seen when you mentioned DOC, I seen something recently where he was saying about Snoop's Ain't Nothing But a G Thing verse.
Yep.
He was saying how he coached him, like, to take certain parts out. This bar is phenomenal, use that.
Yep.
But these was just okay. Let's get rid of those and pull this part up. So, like, I related to that
You
whole
understood what
thing
that is.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a vocal producer, and like that just came naturally to you.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know it was vocal producing.
Just doing
We
it.
was just getting the song done.
Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy, right? Because I think people will see, what you do now, and like, oh man, I would love to do that. Man, I'm on tour. Oh, I'm SZA. I'm with this, right? Yeah. We winning Grammys, right? What is and it's like, how do you say, all right, we got to give J-Rock this, but we got to pull back, and I know this one may be frustrated, but we got to do, like, how do you manage all of these egos in artists trying to get their stuff out and keep everybody happy order and motivated and, giving them the attention? Like, they're like,
That started early on. You know what I mean? With the first 4 artists. Like, we did so much artist development at that time, to when other artists had started coming, those 4 knew what they were doing. You know what I mean? So it wasn't as much hands-on as it was in the early days because we did the teaching already. We did it. It be certain things, but a phone call. Hey, what you think of this line? It makes sense when I say it this way. I mean, certain things like that.
Yeah.
But the focus would always be to the younger and newer artists as they come in.
Yeah.
Now, he just said something key that I want you to explain how important TDE does this or you yourself. Punch, like, talk to everybody about artist development, something that you can't get from a major record label.
Yeah, I think that's the
It's key.
that's definitely the key because the labels will take you from middle ground to superstardom, but they can't take you from the ground to that middle area.
Yeah.
That's where it suffers, and that's why you get a lot of people who look like they finna go but don't have no fan base because they didn't go through the development stages and they didn't build at the same time.
Do you think artist development is different now in the digital era than it was back when you guys were developing the first four?
Nah, artist development will always be the same.
Yeah.
The mediums of how you put stuff out always change.
Yeah.
But to sit down and go through how to make a record, how to develop your look, you know what I mean, how to speak and talk on interviews, like all of these things will never change.
Damn, so there's a playbook that you have, like, all right, we got to do, this is what we did with the first four, this is what we got to do for, the artists that we have now.
Not necessarily a playbook,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of conversation. Sometimes it's more conversation than actually making music. So we'll sit in the studio for hours and just talk about certain things. You know what I mean? Like,
Damn.
you have certain artists who will say, okay, I like this artist, and that artist. I want to figure out a way to combine all of their strengths and implement it into what I'm doing. So we'll talk through that. You know what I mean?
It's conversation.
Right. If Tupac spoke off the cuff and fiery, yeah, I want to bring some of that, but I want to be a little bit more reserved in this area. Like, all these are real conversations.
Yeah. Damn.
And all four of when I say the hippie, I'm talking about the four core TDE when we were talking about from the Giddy Up. They all were different.
Right.
Like Absol had a definitely unique thing. Schoolboy Q had his thing.
Yeah.
K. Dot and J Rock.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I loved about J Rock? I like that he got his off on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Yeah.
I was so happy. I'm like, this is the J Rock I love. Like, and I'm so glad it.
Yeah. And that was the moment, the full circle moment for him. Like, he won the Grammy off that record.
That's
on
a
the-
big
on the
deal,
soundtrack.
man.
It's like, for him to get it after everything he went through. Like, he went through a lot of personal stuff, from the motorcycle accidents to a bunch of stuff that set him back, on top of Kendrick moving past him in the popularity era
Yeah.
when he was first. Like, most people would have crumbled.
Yeah.
He never folded at all.
Always stayed down.
He never caught attitudes. He never felt away.
Dope.
And for him to come back and win like that was like one of the greatest things ever.
No, that redemption album to me is like, man, like to your point, I'm thinking when I'm listening to it, I'm thinking about those things. Like, he was the first one, right?
Yeah.
And then, Kendrick goes into this stratosphere that not many reach.
Right.
And like certain people, like it's easy for people to be like, well, see, that's because Punch did this with him, right? Like, you
Exactly.
get people doing that BS, right?
Definitely.
And for him not to be able to, for him not to fall into that, and he talks real personal on that album about the things he went through. Like, yo, I was up, and I'm knocking chicks off, and I'm broke, and I'm back in the crib, and like that album is so
Transparent.
full and complete, and he was hard. Like, it was. When's he coming back out? Like, when can we get a?
Working on it now. He
just teased something the other day on the
he in
ground.
the studio constantly.
Yeah.
Like, he just stay working. So we trying to formulate the album now.
Yeah.
How important is it that, not to talk about J Rock and Watts? I always say J Rock and Watts. I'm thinking of around Christmas time, you guys always give back and do a show in Watts. How important is it that J Rock is like, this isn't my. It's in the projects.
Yeah.
And how important is that to you guys to make sure you guys do that? What did it happen during the pandemic?
Nah, we couldn't do it during the
Couldn't do it.
pandemic. They still did the toy giveaway.
Yes.
But the whole key is to bring things back to the community. Like, that's always been the goal from jump.
And y'all do it on a festival style like level.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'd be a lot of people come out there to the projects, in the middle of the projects. Like, that's something in itself. Just to see all these different colors and walks of life.
That last one, I was like, oh, the whites are in Watts.
Right.
Yeah, the fans, because it was the fans. They were lined up.
Yeah.
But it was, I'm like, oh, the fan, like I saw the fans, the colors change. I'm like,
definitely. And then the people that come out, like we had Rihanna come out, Chris Brown came out, like there's a bunch of different people that support and understand how important that is.
Yeah.
I mean, just pull up and show love.
How do y'all stay humble, man? Because I saw,
no pun intended.
I saw Top collecting change from a washing machine.
Oh no, he's serious.
Like he's like, if it ever gets slow, I'm like, damn, this mother is,
That's tough. That's tough.
How do y'all stay that grounded and that humble with this massive success that you have from your own city? And a lot of times, it's hard for rappers staying in their own city. Or just people being successful in their own city. Like, I remember Punch when he was at Bellflower. He ain't know that. Like, how do y'all manage all of that and still being touchable in a way for your community and balance that?
I don't know. I think it's just our personality.
Yeah.
It's just who we are. Like, we've always been down-to-earth people.
Yeah.
Like, a quick story on Top. Like, he'll be the guy that go through the fast food drive-through in the Bentley.
Yeah.
And then won't order a soda because of the price, but go to the grocery store and get the 2-liter. It's cold as milk because it's more bang for the buck.
Yeah.
And that's what was instilled in us. Hustle like you broke.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people got that tattoo on them because you guys start coining that. Yeah, man.
And it's a mindset. You know what I mean? And it starts from him and it goes all the way down.
Man.
You gotta
Does he still got his Escalade from back in the day?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought he had kept it. Yeah.
What's funny about him,
that
though,
Escalade was like the shit.
He always had the cars, though, ever since I was young.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him.
Yeah, he always had a roll of cars, but still in the T-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much conversation, you say you're having conversation, when it gets to album time, like how much conversation and concept and before you even y'all getting into the studio? Because again, the one thing about TDE, you can hear it's almost like a gourmet meal. I know it's crafted. I don't know how much time. I know I like it since the early mixtapes, but you going into album mode, is it like therapy sessions and you're crafting out the concept? Like
it's different with each artist.
Yeah.
Each artist had their own thing. Like with Kendrick, I know his thing was he'd do pieces in all different directions. Like he might have a hook to one song, and then another song he might have a verse. Then he'd go back and put a verse on that one what the hook was on. Then he'd go to something else, like
process is different.
Piecing it together. J-Rock go through and just bang them all out. They pull the beats up and he just go. You know what I mean? Like everybody had their own process. It's no particular formula that we just follow or a template.
Yeah.
It's like we approach everybody differently.
Yeah. Talk about SZA, because I met you in Philly, you were, and that's totally different from the TDE sound. And female artists are just, they need way more.
Yeah.
I would guess.
More attention.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. There's so much, it's so much more you have to frame differently.
Absolutely.
With females versus.
Of course.
Yeah.
Quick story I always tell, like I had an MTV interview set up for her, and I told her like 30 minutes before. She lost her whole brain.
Oh.
But I ain't get it because I'm like, with the guys, that was always the process.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you got an interview in like 30 minutes. They get up, do like this, and
Yeah.
start talking. But with her, like, she need time. You know what I'm saying? Like, your hair, makeup
was new to you.
together, and that was completely new. I'm like, yo, I ain't know, my fault.
Yeah.
Got you next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it was a learning experience though, and it expanded me as an executive and as a manager.
Oh yeah, I can only
It
imagine.
taught me so much.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that SZA first project.
A rocket.
Out of here, first of all, and you guys went to a different label out of Interscope.
Yeah.
What was the decision like to let's do something different over here?
You know what we did? We had the album maybe 70% done.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to do a showcase in New York. And we invited some of the labels. And she performed some of the new songs or whatever, and they was blown away.
Wow.
So RCA, Peter Edge, showed a lot of interest. And we had conversations, and we felt like that would be the right fit.
Probably smart.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Smart, yeah, because you have a different team and ecosystem.
And it's different too when like the top guy is a music guy, as opposed to somebody just pushing paper.
Yeah.
So you had Peter Edge, Tunji.
Yeah, Tunji was there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good people.
Yeah. So you meet when did you meet SZA? And because let's be real, right? Once the rap label gets the R&B singer, sometimes that's the flag of like the decline. Yeah. I'm just being real. Like
Bad Boy.
I didn't say that. No, they have faith, right? They have faith.
That's what I'm saying. You just said decline, but they started off with rap.
No, but I'm not.
Biggie, Craig Mack, Faith, 112.
But no,
Carl Thomas.
That's a different. No.
Name another rapper on that.
That's different though.
You said
it wasn't a decline. I'm just saying like.
Can't say Death Row.
I'm saying no.
We kept it gangster.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Death Row versus Bad Boy.
I'm gonna always keep it a buck.
What was the process? What made y'all say, yeah, we like her? And what in your mind, what do you think made it work?
Well, I met her at Kendrick was doing a show in New York, in Brooklyn. This was literally a year before he dropped Good Kid, Mad City, to the day.
Okay.
So she was there selling merch for a streetwear company.
She wasn't even singing?
Nah.
What?
Well, no, she was singing, but
it wasn't.
She was
there doing that. That's her thing.
So they didn't have me in top sizes. So we linked or whatever. She said she'll bring them the next day. So she met me in the hotel lobby the next day and brought all the stuff. And she had a friend with her who was listening to some earphones. Mm-hmm. And she was so distracted from what we was talking about. I'm like, yo, what you listening to? And she was like, this her. You ain't know she sing. I said, let me hear it. So SZA got all embarrassed and shy, so they ended up letting me hear it, and I was blown away.
So she just happened to be playing SZA's music.
It might have been a setup.
Could have been a setup.
It's smooth though. It's smooth.
But it was genuine though. She was literally just listening because I think SZA had did that song maybe a couple of days before, so she was just letting her hear it.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, so she was just listening to it.
She wasn't even going to tell you that she was a singer.
She wasn't.
She was just on her like, I'm bring your sizes. Here it is.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. So what you heard? What was that song? Do you remember what you heard?
It was a song off of her first EP, C SZA Run. I think it was called Bed.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I heard it, she approached it like a lyricist, like an MC. Like she using metaphors,
but singing
it. So I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So you can actually listen to something. I'm the opposite. I like to listen to production first. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, oh, they spitting.
Yeah.
I'm to this day. I don't know. Maybe it's radio that jaded me, but I'm like, I always can pick the hit by the beat first. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, oh, they saying something.
Yeah. Nah. With me, it's the words because I come from a lyricist.
You listen
background.
to it different. Yeah, that's funny.
Like I want to hear what you saying, how you saying it. Why did you choose to use these particular words and this pattern? Yeah. You know what I mean?
So the conversation shift from like, thanks for the gear, but like, oh, okay, send me some more music.
For sure.
God.
So how long was that process to be like, all right, Top, we gotta do something with her?
I didn't sign her until 2 years later.
Just kept the conversation going.
Yeah, we just kept talking. She kept sending music and going through the whole process.
Yeah.
And did she come to LA any time you guys fly to LA?
Yeah, we flew her out once. Because my whole thing was, now I'm thinking, all right, I think we got the best rap label right now with these 4 guys we got.
Mm-hmm.
So if I add this piece, it'll make us a legitimate music label.
Yeah.
So that was my mindset.
Because you're a real music head. Like I've seen you tapping on a lot of, and you're a hip hop head.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when I say hip hop, not just rap, gangster. Like, nah, he's a hip hop head. Yeah. So I want to give you a props on that because I seen him like
that, man.
I seen
I mean, glad
so
you recognize that.
Two years goes by, and like, dude, we hear SZA like, oh, it's Punch's fault. Punch didn't. You gotta ask Punch. Yeah. That's
hilarious.
What's that relationship like? Because that's very different from you would have with
with the fellas.
Yeah,
No, for sure. I mean, she real tongue in cheek. Like how she feeling, she'll say it as if a million people not listening. You know what I mean?
Like, hey, that's out there.
But also, a lot of stuff is taken out of context because you only got a certain amount of time to put these words on Twitter.
yeah,
So a lot of people will assume and create a whole story based off a short phrase.
yeah.
You don't ever lose your cool, do you?
Nah, not much. It's fun to me.
If I see you go off on something, I'm like, oh, he's pissed.
Yeah.
Because I never seen you or Top get mad at something. Y'all usually just grab y'all chin like, y'all laugh it off.
Yeah. Because you got to really think about it. Like, we talking about music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've been through real life situations.
That's big, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not going to really get too hot over music.
Yeah. No, I forget. It was something online. They said, what song do you think would be bigger if it wasn't for the pandemic? And I was like, yo, that hit different by SZA. I'm like, if we were outside.
No,
with
that
this
song,
record,
I saw that song
record's
go in
crazy.
Atlanta at a strip club, and I'm like, it changed my perspective. I'm like,
I think I played that record like 15, 20 times in a row the first day. Like, that record is
I saw it go in the strip club for sure.
What-
Onyx. I don't know where I was at.
What did
Yes.
what did COVID do for y'all? Like, damn, we shouldn't put it out. You wait, hold on, we can't do a tour with that. Like, how did that affect everything? Like the rollout, the music.
I mean, that affected the whole earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Music is such a small thing when it came to what happened. A lot of people lost their lives and this whole thing. It changed our whole structure of living.
Yeah.
But on the music front, we was just like, yo, let's just put something out, see what happens.
Yeah, that record is it's a monster.
No, it slapped too.
Yeah. And then
Shout
the
to
video, I'm like, damn. I know you.
I didn't
See,
know-
that's
yeah.
like little sister for you, but like
I didn't know SZA was working with all that. I ain't
man.
no front. I just remember first meeting SZA and her South by Southwest performing. Her hair just bouncing,
Yeah, right.
and she had this little hop. I'm like, oh, she fun. Oh, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
But then I saw that. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Growing up a little bit, getting in touch with who you are more.
And I love that SZA is in that talks with other artists that she can jump on other people's records, and I love seeing the growth of her. Yeah. I saw her actually get down. Her in was it part of Revolt? Did she do a show at Revolt in Miami?
Yeah.
With her band? I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
amazing! Like live and hit it and like
Yeah.
dope.
No, it was she always had that in her. Like she just completely lose who she is when
And
she
I
hit
think
the
Lauryn
stage.
Hill went on after her.
She did.
So I'm like, there's a Jersey connect there. Did she?
Yeah,
did,
they
her-
spoke backstage.
They did. How was that conversation? Were you there? Did you?
I wasn't there. She told me. I was in the front. But Lauryn Hill's from her neighborhood,
I didn't know that.
So
like around the corner. So
But that had to be a big deal for Lauren and SZA to be chopping it up.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yes.
Like they went to the same high school. Of course,
Oh, so that
different
parallel-
times,
oh.
but
yeah. Yeah. When's the? Come on, give us some exclusive punch. Like when we getting? Come on, like when's it coming?
SZA's
bro?
working.
yeah, I mean,
It's coming.
it's coming.
Yeah. And I had a chance to run, I know the Super Bowl passed, but I had a chance to talk to K-Dot at the I went to the rehearsal.
Yeah.
And he was like, I just wanted to get this out the way, but you know how y'all guys keep things close to the chest, but yeah, I'm working fuzz. I'm working. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
And I love that, speaking candidly, I love that you guys, when K-Dot announced that this would probably be my last project with TDE, I love that you guys, it was no bullshit. It was just like, that's our brother. Of course you want him to move on. And
Definitely.
I love how you and Top handle that on some real G shit. Like,
Yeah. And that was important because a lot of people think because there's a separation or growth that is always a problem.
and it wasn't.
And
it's not.
It's not an issue. It's about growth. Like you build things up in order to expand and move forward. So he can do the next thing for whatever he's working on.
Of course,
You
of course.
know what I mean, like that's the goal, that's the plan. So,
But I'm glad it was cleared up. Like, nah, it ain't nothing.
And it's the first time in hip hop that you see that. Like, nah, we can grow and
still
we
be
can do
cool
this for this time, and that was great.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? We're gonna go
for
up.
sure.
We see other people in other cultures do it. It's not a problem. Like, you don't be like, damn, Sting, why you leave the police?
Right.
Oh, y'all beefing? Like, no. It's just,
I'm doing my thing.
yeah, so it's not.
Still got love.
I'm not saying y'all the police. You get what I'm saying, dog. But
You know the
what I
history
mean?
of the police. Sting left.
Yes,
Yeah.
but but you still have artists there that you got. It's not just K-Dot.
Right.
Do y'all ever get frustrated, or you like, dog, I'm busting my ass. We've done this stuff, and you keep asking me, not us, but you keep asking about K-Dot. Like, you guys
got
have
other
some
layers.
great projects and artists that you put out the work. That sometimes it goes back to just that.
Yeah, I mean, you expect that because what we did with Kendrick was unprecedented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Still.
saying? Like, he won the Pulitzer. So
Talk
it's like,
about-
of
From
course,
Compton.
that's going to be the topic of conversation for sure.
Anybody from Philly won the Pulitzer Prize?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
Will Smith did not win
Yeah,
the Pulitzer Prize
for comedy. You didn't
for comedy.
Google it.
Who's the first rapper though?
To win a Grammy?
First
Oh
rapper
yeah,
from
it was Will
Compton.
Smith. It was Will Smith. Will Smith was the first rapper to win a Grammy.
Will Smith has the
Ever.
Pulitzer Prize.
He was the first. He was the first.
You telling me Will Smith has the Pulitzer
Dude,
Prize?
he's the first.
Will Smith
rapper.
has a.
Google
Hey
it.
Siri,
Google
does
it.
Will Smith have a
Google it.
Pulitzer Prize?
Yeah.
Hell no. She
You
said.
said Pulitzer. You said surprise.
She said no.
Yeah.
Does Will Smith have a Pulitzer Prize?
Yeah.
Check it out.
No.
Yeah. But I'm saying
K-Dot.
he's the first.
Black.
He's Grammys. He's won.
You just
I'm
hang
sorry.
to Will Smith.
I'm sorry.
You
You're in
just
the middle of
hangs
this.
with Will
You're in the
Yeah.
middle of this. You don't need to be in the middle of this. Let's go to the new project. Right? Why didn't y'all? Was it Room Full of Mirrors?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all put the rappers' names? Are y'all trying to suppress them? You got beef with them? You don't want them to be superstars?
You don't want other labels to tap into.
Yeah, like
them?
what you trying to keep them for yourself?
I
Like,
thought it was
so-
interesting because it made me want to listen to the whole project and not skip around.
Yeah, I mean, mystery is missing.
And
these
thank you for
days.
putting me up on that. I want to throw it back to you. He threw it.
I had to put you on a.
I
your
felt bad.
Carson
Like I
brothers.
said, this is my backyard. I didn't know. I felt late.
Right.
But y'all really didn't did y'all promote it heavy?
Nah, we promoted it like,
Y'all just okay.
yeah. I mean, we're just trying to like.
I hate when this
Kinda-
motherfucker's on shit before me too. It bothers me. I'm like, damn, Q, you put me up on something again.
It was hard. I'm trying to think of this rhyme scheme that one of the rappers had because I don't know your name because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it was a rhyme
It's probably
scheme.
early.
I don't know
Yeah.
what. It was something, and I was like, this motherfucker is going off, and I'm like, after this we'll go on it. But I was like, they can really rap, and it's very intentional. It's an intentionality behind how y'all rolled that out.
Yeah.
Why? What was that about?
The whole thing was to start slow. You know what I mean? Slowly build and slowly try to start to build a fan base and get an appreciation for what the collective is. You know what I mean? Like, that's missing in the game to me. Like,
Artist development.
yeah, exactly. Okay, it goes back
Go back to artist development.
full circle.
And this is a project that's very dear to you. It has your DNA in it.
Yeah, I'm a.
When I
part
say
of the
DNA,
collective.
it's you're part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we end up, we did the EP, which is called Money Bags. That was based on the short film. So the short film, which was directed by Lyric Michelle, like she did the whole.
The lyric I just met.
Yes.
What up, lyric?
H-Town.
Yeah.
So she's a director
Right.
and an artist.
Yes.
You know she do something. You could just see her. She just both of them. They came in. I'm like, y'all, what y'all do? Y'all do something.
Yeah, she's swaggy over here.
Yeah.
Like the swag camouflage. That's not even camouflage.
Shout out
It's-
to Indianapolis, man. I know
and
y'all
she's
got
not
talent.
from. She's from Houston.
I know. I was talking about early.
But I'm showing
Yeah,
H Town some love right now.
But you got to remember, you can't just be like, yeah, and you got to. It's a balance.
That's right.
It's Early's back there. He's from
Early.
Indianapolis. Mike Epps. That's all I know about Indianapolis in that expo. And shout out to my
Colson,
homegirl
yeah.
Karen Vaughn.
Oh, wow.
And then Houston.
We got to talk about Rayvon too.
Yeah.
Wow. A problem.
We got to talk to Rayvon
That freestyle. Shout out to the LA Leakers. That freestyle.
from Long Beach. Yeah,
Alright,
I'm gonna
so
just
let's
listen.
go back.
I grew up in
Go-
Compton, but went to Long Beach, Jordan. You saw what that is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Had to. I don't want no
My
problem.
blood relative. All right,
See
so
how he be doing? He see how he be?
no,
He know
comfortable.
from Compton South Side.
Sorry,
Boy,
I
you
feel-
what?
I feel comfortable. All right, so no, back to so it's artist development with a room full of mirrors, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's like moving it slow. Is it hard saying, "Hey guys, I know you heard this is how we cooked up the first 4 or 5, right?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're like, "No, but Punch, man, like it's social media. If we do like a little something on TikTok, we could be like,
Yeah.
How hard is it just like
Slow. It's a marathon.
putting them in the crock pot and telling them that the crock pot is going to help you
Yeah.
grow into that? How hard is that? All of that?
That's constant conversation. You know what I mean? Like we talk about this stuff all the time. Cause to me, you don't want to just pop right off, because the only way from there is down. So we want to sort of a slow build, then you want to accelerate and keep on an incline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Because you'll get there.
yeah, for sure. Like sometimes the worst thing that can happen with an artist is they have a hit when they're not ready for the hit. Yeah. And you don't have that fan base to support it, then it's tough after that.
So even this interview and them, being here, this is part of artist development.
Absolutely. Of course.
Come see the legends talk to me about the things that they talk. This is how you see how I talked about this in the interview. You're Phil Jackson.
Definitely Phil Jackson.
Everything is a lesson.
Everything.
See how I said we legends, bro? Come
Yeah.
on, bro.
Listen,
bro, I'm just
and
saying,
while we
got-
speaking about
It's true, though.
TDE,
It's true.
yeah, Q is obsessed with golf.
Okay.
Has
Yo.
Schoolboy Q got you on a golf course?
Nah, him and Don Cheadle hit me the other day talking about pull up.
Okay,
Bro.
so, listen, man.
Punch. I've
It may be hard for Q to do an album now because he's always on the golf course.
I've never asked you for anything.
Yeah.
I need to play golf with Schoolboy Q.
We've been in his DMs. I'm like,
easy.
oh, this Negro ain't
Like, I
active
really-
on Instagram.
I really need to play golf with Schoolboy. Like I'm obsessed. I have
No,
a
he is
whole
obsessed.
series,
He-
Black and Golf.
And you
like,
just reposted what
Oh.
Q did on PGA.
yeah, because I saw not Punch. I saw Top Dog
Yeah.
put it up, and then I posted it. I'm like, yeah, like because that's golf is life.
Man.
No, he's obsessed.
No, but he's really good. I met. Shout out to my comedian, my homie, Craig Shoemaker, white dude. We meet. He like, yeah. Do you know Quincy? I'm like, who? I think he goes by Schoolboy Q. I'm like, yeah. Like he knows him at the club. They go to the same golf. country
Q was
club.
in his bag
No.
then.
Oh yeah. He's
I knew it was a
serious.
problem when he was on the PGA commercial. He was on the PGA golf commercial.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Still
no,
promotion
Schoolboy
though.
on- yeah.
Y'all loving that. No, it's like it's still promotion when it's time for it. to-
But you know what? It's him now. You know what I mean? It fits his lifestyle and what he's actually doing. Like golf really helped him in life.
That's what he said.
I love it.
I love it.
It's a real thing.
Yeah, it's like super.
Just
Yeah,
tell
please,
tell-
can you-
tell Quincy the other Quincy wants to. They.
Nah, definitely.
Please, I
That's a
need.
phone
I'll go to
call.
drive range with him.
He'll love that.
Yeah, we got. Well, I
I
found
love it,
out
though.
about it when he did the GQ. He did a GQ article, and he was talking about golf, and I was like, anyway, all right.
It's
So
an expensive habit, man.
it's
Jeez.
not. It's not. You got your. How many pair of sneakers do you have?
Bro, you know how much it costs to golf at a country club?
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
got Schoolboy Q kind
But
of.
you have hookups. The thing is, you
I'm right
work-
off Century at the golf club.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. Yeah. But it's a mix. You
Gotta
you
go in a certain
play,
time,
you
though.
play, you get your coach, you play at the little local clubs
Par
for like
threes.
$30.
Par three.
No, but you do a whole joint. Then you go and have Schoolboy Q bring you in, like, yo, Q, and then
Yeah,
know
nah.
everybody there.
Yeah, you're
How
right.
many people you know that play golf?
A lot.
All right.
I just need to get back in it.
Sorry. I get passionate.
Shout out to Schoolboy Q.
I'm passionate.
Nah, we gotta set that up. I see
Please.
how passionate you are.
But you should
Yeah.
start golfing though.
Me?
Yeah.
I got stuff to do.
Because that's like a 4-hour process.
Yeah, you just gotta do it early. Yeah,
but
never
still.
mind. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so what's the rollout? What we're hearing is because,
EP.
but because of Kendrick's this being his last album, that you guys are hands off and you're not messing with him, and you're just gonna let him put it out, and you're like no support from the label. Is that true? Like that?
Nah, that's not what I heard.
I know.
I was like, Q.
I was pretty sharp.
Yeah,
Nah, I mean, still in full support of the whole thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Boy, you just made my heart jump. Like, nah, that's what you talking about. Where you hear that from?
You gotta add some spice. Somebody may have
I'm
jumped
still
in.
protected as West Coast.
Nah, this is the victory lap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the swan dive. So full support. It's a celebration.
Got it.
I love that celebration.
Yeah, how many artists are on TDE? Like,
Man, it's a bunch.
yeah.
Y'all was signing artists during the pandemic too? We're still in the pandemic, not to sound ignorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple new artists that's under wraps that we're not talking about yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be super exciting. And then of course the regulars, we got Zach and we got Ray Vaughn and we got Reason and
Shout out to Reason, man. He pulled up on.
He's nice.
I have my manager hat on, and he pulled up to Jason Cash, who's from Carson. Also, he yells Camber Ave. So I managed Jason Cash, and the Reason pulled up on him, and I was like, that's respect. Reason, good dude, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Reason is a rapper.
Yes.
Like he breathes in the whole lifestyle, the culture of rap.
Yep.
Ray Vaughn.
Yeah.
Shout out to the LA Leakers. He did this freestyle, and I'm a lyrics person, and the honesty in his lyrics, and his charisma, and he kept the yellow jacket on. I'm like, yo, this dude. Like when I go work out, I listen to that freestyle a lot. Talk about Ray Vaughn and who did we meet? We met. It was East.
Oh, Eastwood.
Shout out to Eastwood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray is he have a lot of passion. And it's like you said, it's that honesty. That's what resonated with me when I first heard his music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was saying some crazy stuff, but you could tell it was from the heart. And just the way he did, even in that freestyle, like he making eye contact with Milk and Justin.
Yes,
like he going back and forth. Like he in there just talking to them. You know what I mean? That just showed his charisma and his passion.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about Ray Vaughn. What he's gonna bring.
Y'all gotta.
So you hands on with everything.
Yeah, but not as in depth as it was early on.
Yeah.
It's more.
Are you starting to let them kind of like this is the blueprint? Like,
Nah, for sure.
okay.
You kind of go and check in on it.
Yeah.
See if you can help anywhere. But before it was like I'm in here, like when the song starts getting written. You know what I mean? The whole time.
Let's talk about like Nick Grant, who's not on TDE, but you are you managing Nick or are you just mentoring? Like, what's the relationship?
Kind of mentoring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just kind of, was helping him along the way and where he was with his career. I mean, he's a real talented MC, but it was something that was
a disconnect.
Connecting.
Yeah.
Going through. So I was just kind of helping and assisting in that area.
Yeah, I heard what Terrace was working on with him too. So I'm like, sound good.
Right.
Yeah, because Nick can rap.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like his earlier project. I'm like, he almost was like the young rapper on some old school, like the old heads like myself would really enjoy. I'm like, nah, but he young.
Yeah.
He young. So
He got a new project out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody sent it to me. You know what? It reminded me of like Outkast, like some of the music. Yeah, it's new, yeah.
Yeah, it got an Andre 3000 feel to it.
influenced, huh? Yeah. Who influenced you? That's a good question.
It's a great question, actually.
He just took him back.
You know what influenced me, though? Not necessarily individual people, but more so life. Like, I get inspired when I just drive through the neighborhood, just looking around with the windows down.
Yeah.
Just absorbing it all. Like, that gives me a lot of inspiration and a lot of different details.
You reflect.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, like, growing up in the projects. Like, when I go back, it helped me remember everything that I grew up on.
Yeah.
So it's that. But it could be that from a quote or somebody saying something. Like, I remember I went to this art gallery one time. And out of the whole art gallery, the only thing I remember was a quote from Picasso.
Wow.
What was
Like,
it called?
It was something to the effect of he wouldn't know what to do with himself if he ever finished the painting.
And that probably hit you a little
Yeah,
different.
it
'Cause you-
resonated with me. I'm like, yeah, that's crazy because we constantly working and working and working. And it's like, it's not ever finished for real.
Yeah.
Damn, that's deep.
But it's funny that like out of all that, all these paintings and this and that,
A quote.
the quote
Black and white.
stuck out to me. Yeah. Right.
Do you ever like think like, man, okay, you know, are you into other things? That's what, yeah. Are you into other, like, you know, Schoolboy Q got his golf, or, you know, people know you for the executive, but like, what are some of the other things that punches
Like, what's
the
some
person,
hobbies?
yeah, like that you're into?
Man. I like to get massages.
Really? Is that something that you caught on to later?
Not
Like,
the freaky ones, not the.
Whoa.
going
Easy
to
there.
Torrance for happy endings. No, he's not into that.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
Did you get introduced to that later? Like, man, I've been missing out on.
I always like massages.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I always fall asleep, man.
I
ain't
like
gonna
to
front.
relax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I work so much. I just like to do things where I can just chill. But my other passion really is film.
You want to?
Are you getting behind the camera more?
Oh, absolutely. Like the Moneybags EP we shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the short film. Like, that really put the bug in my ear for sure. 'Cause, like, we did that whole thing by ourselves.
What?
Yeah.
So you're hands on with it.
Yeah,
Are you
for
picking up the camera? Are you starting to take stills more? Are you like, do you
sure.
like? I got this Leica I be running around with, so I be trying to take. You know, I'm in rooms I need to take advantage of. So I be sneaking.
Nah, I feel like it's not that, but it's more so the overall of making
The
a
creative.
film. Like coming up with the concept to writing it
Mm-hmm.
to getting all of the shots and the whole thing. Like,
Do you look at movies different now since you got the bug?
always have though.
Yeah,
What you call it ruined me, Universal Studios, when I was young.
taking the tours.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
To actually see behind the scenes and how it worked. Even when DVDs was out and they show all the behind the scenes stuff, I pay more attention to that.
To that.
So it was kind of like working its way up. And now that, like with this collective, everybody is in the film too. Like I said, Lyric Michelle directed the short film. Daylight is a cinematographer. He got all the camera equipment,
So it's all in house.
Yeah.
all in-house. You know what I mean? Like everybody do more than just rap.
Got
You
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of y'all videos look like movies.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Like, I remember Schoolboy Q at the end of one video, he throwing the. I'm not throwing the signs up, but he throwing his. You know what I'm saying? Throwing his setup, and he gets to the camera. I'm like, this show look like a movie.
Yeah.
So y'all, yeah.
Been into that for sure.
So when's the project coming out? When's a punch
Yeah.
directed or curated film coming? It
Or a
ain't,
documentary on you. On
it
you
ain't a
guys.
lack of money because you got the resources. So
We in the process.
okay,
Yeah, all that we're talking about is in the process.
Yeah, everything's in the process for sure.
Yeah.
Like me and Top was talking recently about doing TDE story.
Have to.
Yeah.
Because that'll inspire other people, man.
Yeah,
And I'm sure y'all probably recorded a lot of footage and just,
nah, definitely.
yeah.
And I always thought, like, is it time yet? But when you look at it, like, we almost 20 years in.
damn.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
And even if you do the backstory before that, like the street stuff up until getting, like,
It's still a story.
Oh, so you
a
thinking
lot
like a
of time.
scripted?
possibly. Possibly. We open.
Did you watch the Wu-Tang?
Yeah, I loved it.
That shit was fire, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Really good, man.
Yeah.
And you got to think, too, like, that was going on at the same time we doing this Room Full of Mirrors thing. And this is all MCs from different walks of life. So it's kind of like a parallel. I even had Steve Rifkin come by and listen to the stuff
Wow.
and watch the film. So,
Steve Rifkin, who had Loud Records, if
Yeah.
anybody know him.
right.
Loud sign
Sign
Wu-Tang. Yeah, for sure.
Wu-Tang. I'm on my old head shit.
Yeah, Punch, man. Like,
I just learned a lot about Punch right
No.
now, man.
I mean, he likes massages and
Yeah.
the legal ones.
Whoa.
He's a movie. He's gonna be a movie director. He's the next Punch Tarantino.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the
and,
black
and
side.
he's
though.
cu- and he's and listen,
Spike
and then,
Lee, I was saying.
Yeah, Spike Lee.
Yeah, because he's
My
black.
bad. All right, okay. Or Matty Rich. Remember Matty Rich? Straight out of Brooklyn.
Terrible
Remember that?
independent flick, but it was funny. It was cultural. It was.
Wow, that's what you gonna do.
No, I'm saying,
to our
yeah.
brother Matty Rich out there in Brooklyn.
You always want to throw it back east. I'm gonna keep it west.
No, I love the West Coast.
Yeah,
Like
John
I'm here.
Singleton, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Snowfall.
That's right.
yeah. We like that.
You like Snowfall?
I do.
Woo, fire. Snowfall Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's like some of your favorite shows or movies that you're looking at that inspire you?
I go back to just keeping it on the short film we did. It was inspired by Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah,
Which was Tarantino.
So that's why I said. You know what I mean?
Shot on the West Coast. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna always throw it that. Yeah.
Nah, that was like his style though, Tarantino's style.
Yeah.
Extreme close-ups.
Cinematography is
Right.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ill. I love the way he do it. I like all the Christopher Nolan films, like Inception.
Oh
And
yeah.
we talk about Tenet a lot. Like it was shot beautifully, but
I
I
gotta
think
keep
the dialogue could have been better.
Yeah,
like,
let's talk about that because I get lost. I'm like, what am I looking at? What's
Yeah,
real?
right.
You got to follow it.
and that was the issue because the dialogue wasn't clearly explaining what was going on.
Yeah, but it's shot and sound great though.
Yeah, exactly.
And that dropped during pandemic, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So it was probably intended for. So if you're only hearing he's probably leaning more of it on the visual, and you couldn't really get the visual off.
Because I watched it like 3 times. I'm like, I
Yeah.
got lost on it like the Matrix. Like
Yeah.
this new Matrix was trash. to
Oh,
me.
that was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fall
That's
asleep on
not me. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Have you seen Euphoria? Like the cinematography
Love
on
Euphoria.
Euphoria?
You watch
season
Euphoria?
2?
I haven't watched
Euphoria?
it yet.
You got to watch.
Everybody in the studio be talking about it, but
Fire, bro.
Cinematography
I
on
watched.
one
Yeah.
is great, but 2 cinematography is
And
like
the storyline is nutty.
yeah.
yeah,
You'll love it.
Yeah.
Since you're in that bag, you're gonna love it. Trust me.
yeah. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Get to it.
Punch, man. We thank you, bro. This was
Yeah.
this was an honor.
Nah, it's an honor for
We
me
just
as well.
we were Instagram friends. Yeah. Yeah.
He's our friend.
Yeah. He's a supporter.
But I wanted to tell the story of how hands-on you are with the artist stuff, and even I love what you did with SZA. I love what you do with everything, but the SZA one, like I said, oh, he really in his bag.
I
Like,
appreciate that. Man.
yeah, man.
You
Congratulations.
know what it
on-
was though? Just to go further into that with SZA, that was me learning more. Cause I got into a routine with the 4 guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the same outlets you gonna talk to. It's pretty much the same. But when you get into her, like it's hair care people you talking to, it's skin care, it's makeup, it's
It challenged you.
so I'm learning and that's exciting. So I got to be there and focus and locked in, learning all these new things.
And you gotta be in tune way more with the
yeah.
female than it's a relationship. Like you gotta
Yeah,
be.
definitely.
What's wrong with you? Oh, okay, I get it. All right. No, yeah, you gotta be thoughtful in a way that
right.
you don't have to with the guys.
I loved her conversation with Rick Rubin also.
Yeah,
I'm like,
definitely.
because they connected on a whole different.
Uh-huh.
I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
Dr. Rick, we need to interview Rick Rubin.
Yeah, we gotta go to
that'd be
Malibu,
dope.
right?
Shangri-La. Or what did he call it? No, he called it something.
Nah, it's Shangri-La.
Is it Shangri-La?
Yep.
I'm going to tell you why I know Shangri-La. I used to have a bootleg members-only jacket I got from Compton Swap Meet called Shangri-La.
Yeah,
My mom wouldn't buy a real members-only, but she bought the bootleg version.
that's right.
Yeah, shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah, mine. Shangri-La. Shangri-La.
Still what she can.
Yeah, no, I wasn't tripping. It was burgundy. I was like,
Punch.
Shangri-La.
Before we go, and I want to end it on this, do you have any music in your phone that's not released that the FAQ podcast can listen to off
mic?
off microphone?
I might have something.
See what I'm saying? We gotta
In the
get a snippet.
Dropbox.
We gotta get a snip. Like come
Probably a
on.
TDE cloud they have.
Yeah,
I
like
have something. You know what I mean?
yeah, like a little something. You know what I mean? A little early.
Yeah.
I got you, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Punch got a bunch of Punch unreleased stuff he probably want us to put our
like,
ear
you
to.
just, like, give us a
Okay.
All right.
Early. Is it cool?
Cool. All right. Look. Hey,
Love it, man.
it's the FAQ podcast. Frequently asked questions with Fuzzy and Quincy. Like Punch, this is really an honor that you stopped by, man. We have nothing but respect for you and for you to sit down with us. It means our price went up.
Definitely.
It went up. It definitely went up. Hey, look, if you want to advertise, fuzzyandq@gmail.com. Add, subscribe. Anywhere you check out podcasts, it's FAQ. It's not FAQ. It's FAQ podcast. With
Fuzzy and Quincy. If you search
Quincy.
Fuzzy and Quincy, you're going to get frequently asked questions.
There it is.
FAQ.
We'll see y'all
Not
next time.
fact.
No, not fact. See y'all next
And
time.
if they,
Yeah.
if
You bullshitting. If you say if you call it fact, that means you don't really fuck with it.
and you know what we
don't really
say?
listen.
What's FA and Q? What's that?
Fuck
Fuck you.
Fuck
There
you.
you go.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.